So before I actually get started into the script, know that this was reread by someone from the trans community. I'm going to make this as quick as I can, but I'm going to fail most likely. First, I've been sick and work has been messing with me and my health, and I hope to get back into content creation soon. Also, live streaming. Hopefully with a new and better paying job if I can get this certification done in approximately 3 months. Now, on to the topic I want to talk about. Today we learned that VTuber Pikamee is graduating. For those that don't know, is a term used within the community to quit or retire. Many are speculating it has to do with Hogwarts and the issue that got many streamers, VTubers, trans, and trans-aligned harassed all across the board. Some were saying it was planned, but either way, I got a lot to say on the matter. I am a member of the LGBT. I am bi. I deal with bi erasure. But there is one thing I am before LGBT, and that's black. A black man. You can't see sexuality, but you can see someone's skin color and looks, and that's what people judge you on first. Are you clean or dirty? Your height and weight, etc. Both sides have been chaotic. The trans community were in the right to boycott the game and express why they didn't want to buy and play the game. But the bad actors, a term I genuinely hate using because the last 8 years has been overused. Both in and out of the community, various streamers and YouTubers, no matter who they were, got attacked by some trans members. And let me say that one more time. Some. And some posing. You may be like, dude, how do you know? Well, remember the BLM protest that happened, and there were random cops and Proud Boy members dressed in civ clothing, breaking stuff, instigating? Whenever there is a movement for a positive change, you get people like that, and in some protests, protesters got hecklers out of the group. This is just one example I really wish I could show physical evidence of, but being a sensitive topic already and talking about it, I don't want to get bum rushed by the algorithm. Where the anger needs to go are to those that harass people and try to justify it. And J.K. Rowling, but more on her later. Now, people outside the community share some blame on this too. Obviously, those posing, that goes without saying. But those that talk downplay what a different community goes through and thinks they were crazy for speaking out, and that goes on any matter. Be it Jewish issues with people like Kanye, but they were getting attacked. The Asian hate where Asians were being attacked and harassed also. Or folks like the Proud Boys who are terrorists. It takes a few minutes to understand why they didn't want money to go to Rowling. That being said, no one should be crapping on those that just want to play a game. It's not that serious. Like how I wish we could boycott Pokemon and other big companies at times. Pokemon for me being quality of the game and ignoring the community. It's that's something completely different. It's not going to happen or have a big effect. I know this, but I still will vote with my wallet on a lot of things, and admittedly, I'm part of the problem too. But in the end, it's just a game. Really what should have happened is no one wanting to work with J.K. Rowling for her hot takes, but also naming characters like Cho Chang, Seamus Finnegan, and Kingsley Shacklebolt. J.K. Rowling is a troublesome person in general who paints herself a victim but then gaslights others. That's what we call narcissism. I sometimes hate the English language. My first language that I can't speak. Now I want to focus on Pikamee and Silvervale, the main topic of why I'm writing this. They are VTuber I like to see clips of from time to time. Silvervale made a video shortly after where she was quite emotional, and people were saying things like, oh, she would never survive as a trans person. Like, that has nothing to do with the situation. She isn't trans, and that's deflective of what's being said in the video. Like right now, I'm not even talking about what she said in the video, because I'm addressing a legit comment I read. Going by that remark, you wouldn't survive as a black person, modern day or 1400s. People were going as far as to slander her, saying she made racist remarks, and then they wouldn't post receipts saying, I don't need to find them, you do. Honey, that's called slander. You made a serious claim without receipts, and that tells me you're a terrible person at this glance. The issue with Pikamee was she didn't even play the game and got harassed. Be the graduating planned before this or after doesn't warrant harassment. The issues here are more Western than Eastern, so there's a cultural disconnect. Pikamee also dealt with a lot of bullying when she was younger, like myself. Those who are in the trans community who acted, I repeat, who acted, do know what it's like, but some of you did it anyway to prove a point. And because of that point, not only trans, but LGBT in general are being targeted. Not just by Silvervale and Pikamee fans, but others outside the VTuber community who already were bothering VTubers. This is not the way anyone should be acting. Both sides need to chill, smoke a blunt, and grab a beer. Or a nap in a juice box. Some friends in the trans community do want to play the game, but will be getting it secondhand, or yar horror mood. Some friends outside it as well. I myself am not buying the game to support friends who are trans and not giving money to someone who doesn't deserve a cent. And this right here is off script, but I even had a friend who is a trans ally. I wanted to do a review on Lego Harry Potter, the first year. They convinced me not to, and I understand why. I don't want to cover anything really that J.K. Rowling has touched. And you know, that's my own personal choice as a way to also help support the trans community. That's just me. But again, I'm not going to crap on someone because they want to. Okay? Like, and it's going back on the script. I know I am a minor voice in anything and in every community. But I also am not going to crap on folks over a game. I'd rather go after sources of hate, much like how cops might not go after the drug user, but the dealer and the source. It's a proven method, but go about it in legal ways. And I truly understand this quote. A riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it that America has failed to hear? the plight of the Negro poor has worsened over the last few years. It has failed to hear the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. It has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these reoccurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are an absolute guarantees of riot prevention. And that was my best Martin Luther King impression. And while this is on Black Matters, it extends to many other cases, many that I have mentioned before. And this was just more of a hitman type of action that happened. I am more of a peaceful person, yet understand there are times to let your Malcolm X come out. But this was not it. They're running a business. As much as you may not like it, streaming and content creation is a business. Don't watch them if you don't like what they're playing, or watch them when they're playing something completely different. That's all I gotta say, and if you think you can harass me, good luck. Again, I'm black, in the hood, and just trying to do better. And I couldn't just exercise that block busting like Kamiya did. Peace.